Welcome everybody to the July 4th edition of Ready, Set, Recap, where we recap what's been going on. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend Skyler.
Happy 4th of July. How patriotic do you feel?
I'm an American. This week in the news, we've got PlayStation shooting itself directly in the face and or foot, depending on where you want to take that analogy. We've got updates on the Grand Theft Auto 6 situation, and at the very end, we will do a full spoilers review of the Supergirl movie. But before we get into all that, Skyler, what's been going on with you this week?
No, just Supergirl, so we're going to save that for later. I mean, World Cup fever, but that's it. It is the 4th of July. The World Cup is still going on. We saw Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. That's so nothing fun for me. What did you do though?
I did one of the things that you... that's right. I got to text your brother to get him to run in with that mousetrap.
You go for that. You don't know if I did or didn't do things, though.
Well, if you did, you would have mentioned them here, because this would be the time to do it.
It's not necessarily true.
Well, what I did this week was watched all of Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I think it was pretty all right. I think it was pretty good. But I'm also pretty sure you haven't finished it yet, based on tone.
All right, so what'd you think?
It's a good show. It really is. It's I watched it entirely in black and white, and then I would go back and
to do it.
Well, I don't actually think so, because I would go back and I would watch some of the like bigger scenes in color, and they look really good in color. And then you go to the black and white, and you're like, this is stylistic, and I get it, and it's different, but the color like looks really good. So I don't know.
That's interesting, because based on like what we saw in the trailers, I wouldn't have thought that at all. I would have thought that certain things would have looked doo-doo dog shit in the colorization version.
Some of them do, but they look doo-doo dog shit in the black and white too. So it's just because the effects are bad. So there's not really any way around it, to be entirely honest. But like, you know, a lot of there are scenes where it's like, this is very noir, and those look really good in black and white. Like, you know, where we're doing a lot of play with like shadows and stuff, or like, you know, Nick Cage is in a smoky bar or whatever, but then you switch it over to color, and those same smoky bar scenes look just as good, if not better, in color. Like, especially the scenes where Kat is like on stage singing. There's a lot of effects going on in the back with that lighting that you just don't see in the black and white, like, at all.
All right.
So I don't know. It's good both ways.
My initial stance was vehemently against the colored version. I'm not going to switch up on that now, but I will believe you.
Yeah. I think it's a really good show. I think a lot of people do a really good job. In particular, I think Robbie, the like reporter guy, and Kat, I think they are the best parts of the show. I think that they are really, really good.
The actress for Kat, whose name escapes me, she was in Sinners.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was she also a lounge singer there?
No, everybody hates her for a very specific reason.
Oh, well, a lot of people hate Kat in this for similarly specific reasons, but I don't know. It's probably more justified in Sinners. At least, well, in Spider-Noir, it's the characters that don't like her. I assume that you mean watchers who didn't like her in Sinners.
Yeah, you know how everybody blames Star-Lord in Avengers Infinity War for letting Thanos go?
Right, because he did.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Oh, good and great. The only parts of I would give it like a 4 out of 10, or like, sorry, 4 out of 5 like stars on Letterboxd or whatever. But I do think, unfortunately, that little bit extra, it is dragged down by some of the really big overacting of Nick Cage. Like, there are a couple scenes where it's just like, brother,
that's what you hire him for, though.
Well, I know, and there's a lot of times where he's doing that. He's being Nicolas, because at no point in this entire show is he Ben Reilly. He's Nicolas Cage the whole time, and for the majority of the time, that's good to fine. But every so often, it's just like, hey man, like, I get it, like I get it, but like, this is a serious moment. If you could maybe not do the Harry Potter and he's got the pinches like thing with your entire arms in front of your face while you're supposed to be having like an actual meltdown. Maybe we could stop with that one. I don't know.
It sounds like you don't get it.
I don't think he necessarily got it. I think he was just having fun, and because he's Nicolas Cage, nobody.
He gets it.
Nobody on set.
He gets it more than He gets it more than anyone else possibly could. He gets too much.
He probably, yeah. I think there's an aspect of it where it's like, obviously when you hire Nick Cage, you know exactly what you're gonna get. And I think because of that, he got on set and started doing some stuff like that, and the director's probably just like, well, what did we expect? Like, I don't think that he was prepared to like offer notes of like, hey man, maybe in this particular scene, maybe you don't do that. But it is still a really good show. I think Silvermane is a really great villain in it. I like the story of it. I think it's really good. I think it is well performed for the most part. And it's well shot for the most part. The budget is in some areas way higher than I thought it would be, and in other areas lower than I thought it would be.
Sure, yeah.
So it is kind of a mixed bag, but I would still very highly recommend it. I think it's really good.
Do you think it'll lead to Sony doing more spin-off variation shows of Spider-Verse adjacent characters?
Maybe. The thing is, I don't really know how this one came to be. If this was a situation where like, I don't know the director's name, but whoever like had an idea for it came up and was like, I want to do this thing and we're gonna get Nicolas Cage and like that's a name that we can put on this and sell it, which it is and worked. Then probably not. I don't know how this is performing. I think it's really good and I hope it's performing well. But I don't know like how it's actually doing.
I don't have numbers in front of me. Yeah.
But then I also wonder like, depending on what other Spider character you chose, it's like a lot of what is carrying this show is it's really unique like feeling, because it's obviously it's doing something very old and going back to a noir thing, but it's been so long since we've really gotten that it feels fresh again. And I don't necessarily know that you get that if you're like, we're gonna do the Miles show or we're gonna do the Spider-Gwen show.
The one I feel is most likely to follow would be like Penny Parker.
Is she the robot one?
She's with the robot, yeah.
I could see that. She's become like relatively popular lately, and I think it's largely because she's just getting used a lot. Because she's like in Marvel Rivals, and I think she's in Rivals, yeah. I think she's going to be in that Tokon one too, or something. But I don't know. Maybe it would depend on like what the style of that is. You know, like do they do it live action and have like it feel anime-ish, or like
yeah, that's what they would do.
Because like yeah.
Would it work better if they just did an anime?
I mean,
they own Crunchyroll.
They probably could and probably should. But
no, they're also, live action Spider Ham.
There's a market for that.
The go-to is like live action. We got to do live action.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, let's take the most cartoony thing we can and try to make it live action. It was I'm not pitching this. That was a joke.
There's a market for that, and it's definitely not me. For me, I'm surprised you went straight to Penny Parker. I think the most immediate logical one would be 2099, but I feel like that would also be way more expensive because you have to do like cyberpunk shit. And also I feel like there's a big market for cyberpunk shit. Like people love that aesthetic, but then at the same time, like they don't show up and buy the thing or watch the thing. They just talk about it like it's the best. Like look at the cyberpunk anime on Netflix. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's the best thing in the world. Wow, it's so cool. And it's getting a second season. But like not a lot of people actually watched it. Like the viewer hours on it were like not great. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess it would also depend on like how good that relationship is between Amazon and Sony.
Did you know that Penny Parker was created by the singer from My Chemical Romance? Did you know that?
I knew that he did comics. I did not know that he made Penny Parker. No.
Yeah. All right. I had to mention that, or else we would have someone would have blown us up with a rocket.
Because he's the one who did Umbrella Academy, right?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Is it Gerard Way?
Someone else is going to blow us up with a rocket? Yeah.
Yeah, he did Umbrella Academy. Unless I was doing
that. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's like a real guy. He like does real things. It's pretty cool.
He's not. He's a singer. Those aren't real people.
Well, and other than that and Supergirl, that's pretty much my entire week. The only other thing of note that I did is I finished a little indie game called Inkonbini, as in konbini, as in like a convenience store in Japan. And it's just this like cute little indie game where you play as this girl named Makoto who has to fill in for her aunt at a konbini when she's like, I think she's out sick or in the hospital or something. But it's just this like cute little cozy game where you go in and it's just like you straighten up all the things on the shelves, and you meet all the different customers, and you like talk to them about their lives, and it's very much like a more complete feeling version of like the coffee talk games, if anyone's ever played any of those. um it's really cozy and it's really good, and I think it is a very complete version of the game it's trying to be. But I don't think I don't think that game would speak to a lot of people, but it is good and unique, and I do really appreciate it. And a really good soundtrack on it, which I guess it needs to have because you're spending a lot of time in otherwise quiet, just contemplative organizing. So I think it's pretty important. But Skyler, let's get to the news.
Good news, I hope.
One of them is, and we'll start with that one. The first little piece of news I have here is that One Piece Season 3 has officially finished filming. It is completed its time, meaning that we will relatively shortly be joining the Straw Hat crew in good old Alabasta, where nothing goes wrong and everyone is happy the whole time. Do we know for sure? Is this season like entirely Alabasta, or is there going to be other things on the beginning and end?
No, the subtitle is the Battle of Alabasta.
Right.
So whether or not it's a full 8 episodes like usual, I guess that could be a question. I think Alabasta has enough to fill 8 episodes, but they could shorten it to 6 if they wanted to.
They could definitely do. Yeah, I mean, I would prefer if they just did Alabasta for the whole 8 episodes. But if they wanted to go like 1 episode on the end to be like, you're set up for season 4 or whatever, I wouldn't be mad about it. You know?
There's gonna be. I've said for a while, and spoilers for anyone listening to this, that only engages with live action and none of the rest, which is okay. You're valid in your fandom.
Right.
I've said for a while that I thought that this season would end exactly where Four Kids dub piece ended, with the ship falling from the sky.
Right.
Leading into our next season and adventure. So I think there will be a little bit of we wrap up all the trouble in Alabaster by the beginning of the final episode, and then, or maybe like halfway through the penultimate episode, and then we party, relax, do our goodbyes, and then like episode 8 is kind of that a look at the world and where everybody is and where people are going, and then we lead it with the cliffhanger of the ship falling.
We'll do our classic end of arc, everyone gets a newspaper bit.
Yeah, because I believe I was gonna say we're getting close to our first look at some literally really big characters.
Well, we've seen
we've
seen giants. I don't know what you mean.
That's true. That's true. But the guy I'm talking about isn't a giant, and he's still fucking massive.
He's pretty big.
But I actually don't think that happens until the end of the next arc, like right before they go to.
You're talking about
the place. Jaya is what I'm talking about. We see Whitebeard at Jaya.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the bit where they're like, this is where Kaido tried to off himself.
Oh no, that's a long ways away.
I don't remember when they said it, but I remember that he had like jumped from a sky island. Or is it at the same time where like Apu and whoever like find him?
Yeah, that okay. Kaido jumps off of Sky Island and lands in front of Kid and Hawkins and Killer and Apu. And Hirogi was up there and watched him do it. But so the fact that I'm saying all these characters that people who just watch the live action
have no idea
what any of it means.
Yeah, Apu is not the guy from The Simpsons.
That's a very, 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 very far ways away. Yeah. Something that the live action might not even bother getting to.
True. Well, but I don't know necessarily, right? Because they have been like very early introducing some things that should not be known, like in the show already. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like in season 2, we get some certain top hats. We get a couple of barrier fruits. We get some things we probably are not supposed to be seeing yet. And I do think Alabasta is ripe for that shit. I think there is a pretty solid chance of like, hey Vivi, what's up with your mom?
No, we're not. They can't. They can't mention that.
They will. 60% chance they will.
They'll allude
75%
to it.
chance that we get mention of the Gorosei. You have to remember, we already saw a fucking Reverie. Like we're like,
Yeah,
we just got to the Grand Line and we've already seen one. So there's gonna be
I
something.
know for a fact. I know for a fact that come the time of like Skypiea, you have seen them because I've been rewatching a little bit recently.
Ah, that's what you were doing instead of all of the things you said that I should mousetrap you for if you didn't finish.
Yeah, well, it happens.
You brought it on yourself. I wasn't gonna put that weight on you.
See, I don't fear the mousetrap because I have eaten the mousetrap no me, and I'm a mousetrap man.
I'm a mousetrap man.
Yeah.
No, I'm immune. I do think it'll be a really good season. I'm sure we've gotten
Sure.
casting for these characters already, but I'm really curious to see like what Shaka and Pell are gonna look like.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I want to
I
see.
don't remember if there was official casting for them. I know that we've cast Bon Clay
Mhm.
and Ace
Right,
and
Cholo.
uh I mean most
We
other.
we've probably gotten casting for like Bones and Double Finger, right?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. We do.
Yeah.
Mr.'s 1 and but I don't think they've said anything about like Mr. 4 or Miss Merry Christmas, which makes me
Well, who
think that they're
cares?
just gonna skip them.
Frankly, who
Like
cares?
I think they're gonna tweak and like they're gonna change that fight.
Well, they've
And if they
already
don't, we'll see.
they introduced what's her name, the who like we didn't ever see in the anime before, and she's a baseball person. So do we need a
Yeah.
second baseball person? You know what I
See,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Do we
But
need
like
Gundog? I don't know that we need Gundog.
at the same, you have to introduce because this early on, when you spoilers for One Piece, people, when you see a dog that is a gun, and then somebody naturally assumes they say, "Oh, is that a dog that ate the gun fruit?" And you tell them you would fucking think so,
Nope.
but check this out. That's a gun that ate the dog fruit. And they say,
Excuse
"Excuse
me?
me?"
So every time that
That's important to show now. You have to show that now.
so do you think that they have to do something special to devil fruit when they like store it in a chest so it doesn't accidentally eat it? When they put the gum fruit in that little chest, do they have to like spray it with lead first?
You know how every Reese's peanut butter cup is in the little paper? That's what the paper's
The
for.
paper stops it from okay.
Yeah.
To be fair though, the my
Maybe it's a sea prism chest. Maybe
maybe
that's the answer.
maybe to be fair though, this inanimate object has eaten a devil fruit only comes up like 3 times, I think.
And they do specifically say it's a science that one very specific, very big-headed scientist can
Yeah.
do. So
So it's because it's the gun and 2 swords as far as I remember. So it's like
yeah, yes.
so they could just skip it and then bring it up in season
No, you can't skip it. You need to
6 or
see it.
whatever the fuck whenever we do Marineford.
We need to see it unless the budget doesn't allow for it because we have Chopper.
Yeah. If I have to choose, then I'm going for Chopper.
They better not leave out the camel too. Lashes. We need
No.
lashes, and
Yeah.
we need pinchers. The big crab.
No.
We need all of it.
No. They'll skip him and they'll do all the dugongs
No.
instead.
Okay, we need the kung fu dugongs. That's true.
I bet the crab only shows up in promotional material. I bet we don't actually see him in the show.
No, they can't promote him. They can't promote him and then not use him. What is this? The Punisher with a minigun?
Whoa, hey, that would be crazy. You know what else would be crazy? All these updates to Grand Theft Auto 6 and how shitty that whole situation is.
Good lord! Hey everyone, where were you the day physical media died?
You were here, apparently. Hey, so remember before when we were like, hey, there's a lot of rumor because, they were like, the first wave of Grand Theft Auto 6 won't have a disc in the box, no matter if you pre-order it, and it'll be on the receipt at GameStop probably. Well, Rockstar has, at this point, come out and basically said that they're not ever planning on printing discs. There were rumors that like in December the like second wave of the discs or of the physical copy would have discs in it, and now they're like, nah, we're probably not going to. So there will likely never be an actual physical release for Grand Theft Auto 6. Although I will say, and this is the next story, so we'll get into it then, I guess. But because of what PlayStation did this week, they've been trying to distance themselves from PlayStation, which I think is really funny because it's like you did the same thing. Like, actually, literally, you started this conversation. So good job with that. We also got a full breakdown of what the difference between the $80 version of the game and the $100 version of the game is, the Ultimate Edition.
Right. I did see this list.
There's a lot of things that you just don't get anymore. You just don't get access to unless you. I'm sure there'll be a, hey, you can buy this $20 upgrade, day one DLC basically if you really want to.
No, I hope it's more.
Yeah,
I hope they.
It'll be 30 just because fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's that list. So in the standard edition, you get the digital standard edition. That's just the game. And then you get the vintage Vice City pack pre-order bonuses, assuming that you pre-ordered it, which is a car and a garage, the 55 Vapid Stanier. You get outfits and hairstyles that are, I guess, in fitting with Vice City, and an exclusive weapon pattern. And then you also get, don't worry, you still get that free month of GTA Plus that will add a reoccurring payment to your account that you have to remember to turn off. So that's what you get for the standard edition. And then for the Ultimate Edition, you get all of that, obviously. And then you also get, hold on, let me take a deep breath. The 95 Grotti Cheetah, the Hawk and Little Morgan revolvers, the personalized weapon variants, Vice City styles. You'd think that'd be in the Vice City pre-order bonus, turns out, nope. Jason's Safe House vehicles, Ganado Retro Build, Ride Out Customs Mod Shop, Sarah's Unisex Salon, Shih Tzu Squallow, Stock 305 Clothing Store, 67 Vapid Dominator Buggy, Electric Fang Tattoo Parlor, One Eye Willie's Mod Shop, Good Time Gear, PTT Youngins Compound, and Classic Car Collection. So if you want the stores in the game, is basically what all of these are, to have doors that open, then you gotta pay that extra $20. Is basically what it comes down to. It's just all of this shit is gonna be in the game 100%, except like the costumes. I'm sure those will probably just be you just don't have those. But the rest of these are just gonna be stores that exist in the game that you just be able to walk right past and be like, well, I didn't pay 20 extra bucks to Big Daddy Strauss Zelnick, who's at that creep ass meeting. Do you hear about that? Did we talk about that on the show?
Excuse me? What?
There's there's this guy, Peter Thiel, who believes that the Antichrist is among us. And
this is not, what a week this has been. Go on.
Peter Thiel, he's a monster. Like, he's crazy. And of course, aligned with certain political powers in America currently. He has created what he believed would be a secret. He's basically trying to start the douchebag Illuminati.
Okay.
But it all leaked out, and we saw who was on that list. And among the people on that list, of all the people who you would expect, are Sarah Bond, weirdly, who used to work at Xbox and she just got let go. And then Strauss Zelnick, the current CEO of Rockstar. So
all right. Happy 4th of July.
They're going to the reason that it leaked out was because it was like a guest list basically and it's this like quote unquote secret organization basically. They called what was it? It was like not Disclosure. What the fuck was it called?
Oh, Disclosure Day.
It had like a name. I'll look it up while I'm talking, but basically there's like this big conference that they're going to that has things like it has panels basically about like how to start a cult, how to make more money, and then like how to have sex or whatever. Like it's all kinds of stupid shit, and it like all of the most evil things in the world. I wish I had put this on the thing so I would have the more like full list of how stupid it is, but it's boy howdy.
Do I need to throw an allegedly on here just for
No, it leaked. It's on the news. So it's I don't think so. It's called Dialogue. Okay. Members of Peter Thiel's secretive Dialogue Society. which appears in the Epstein files like 100 times, but nobody knew it until we knew that what it was called, because you know, when you search the word, you're not searching the word dialogue because you'd assume that that's not a group. But okay, the program's off-record sessions include: money does buy happiness. Bring back nuclear, comma, navigating World War III.
Okay.
Battlefield Technologies. Build a cult, moderated by the founder of the Christian networking site Pray.com, and Build a Party, run by a former White House national security official. And then, how's your sex life? Because they also want to make sure that the billionaires are fucking other billionaires, because we want to create the literal real world celestial dragons. That's what we were trying to do here. Is money based
eugenics.
Yeah, money based eugenics.
Yeah. It's what they've wanted. It's what they wanted since Reagan.
Pretty much, yeah. So so that's the person in charge of the company making all of these other really stupid choices. And who will almost certainly because okay, so they're only launching on console. They're launching at a higher price that people can really afford right now. It's going to sell 1 million copies. They're also not really doing a physical release, which is going to box out a lot of other people who would normally buy the game. But you have to understand, like, digital isn't an option for some people. Like, literally, because it's like, oh, well, you know, my amount of like data that I can download onto my, like, through my shitty ISP in the middle of nowhere is less than the amount of data that this game is. So I just can't buy it now. Or like a kid who isn't going to be able to buy it for themselves now because their parents don't know how to buy a thing through the console, right? And they can't go to a store and buy it really, because they wanted to like buy it and wrap it and put it under the tree. You can't do that. So it's a mess. It's a real fucking mess. And it's not going to make as much money as they want it to. And so on top of all of these really bad business practices, it will also likely result in them being like, it didn't meet our expectations of $4 trillion. So we have to lay off 100,000 people and close down 3 of our Rockstar locations. Like, that's probably where this is going. So keep that in mind. Put that on the map of just like, hey, being really shitty for money usually ends up with you actually making less money. Pretty cool.
I don't know. I've got no words.
Yeah, it's not great. It's pretty bad actually. But hey, save me $80 because I'm not buying this game anymore.
$100.
$100. Well, I would never have bought the Ultimate Edition. If it was $100, I was already out.
I never would have bought the full game.
I would have never. Yeah, I would never own a game, which is what PlayStation wants. PlayStation in the news this week.
Who you wouldn't own a game?
Doesn't want us to own games ever again, it turns out. Because here's the big story of the week. We're doing it again. This is what everyone's talking about. Is PlayStation has killed physical media, in the game space at least. They have announced, apropos of nothing, when nobody asked, they put out a whole blog post about how starting in January of 2028, they will just not be producing discs for their games anymore. And then on top of that, it's a little shady, but it seems like they're also not going to allow people to produce discs for the games that they're making for the PlayStation platform, meaning that from 2028 onward, you will not be able to buy a physical copy of anything on PlayStation, basically. And the reason that they use to justify this is because they claim that just over 80% of sales on the PlayStation platform are done digitally. Which I do believe there's a huge chunk of people that buy digitally, because people are lazy and stupid and don't realize what they're getting themselves into. But we also saw this week that the numbers that PlayStation uses for that are wildly off base, because they also include in that all games that don't have a physical release. So indie games that don't have a physical release, anything of that smaller because Castle Crashers never got a disc, right? Or like, well, Hollow Knight did get a disc actually, but a lot of these indie games, Balatro, I don't think got one, right? Just because it's a little tiny company of like 40 people who can't afford to have, wide distribution of their games because they're self-publishing or whatever. There's a huge portion of the indie games, which is a pretty big chunk of video game sales. And then on top of that, they also are counting every single time that you download a game from PlayStation Plus. So all the free games that they give you every month, which I think they actually stopped doing a while ago, but also if you use their subscription service, because they have their own like Game Pass equivalent that's not quite as good, but every time that you download a game off that, they count that, it turns out, as a digital sale towards these numbers. So it's just completely fucked. Like there's no way to really look at it and figure out what the actual number of people buying things physical versus digital on the PlayStation platform are, because they misrepresent their numbers like crazy, because this is what they've always wanted, is to not have physical. They've wanted this since the PS4 generation, really, because like even back then, I mean, Xbox came out with it first and they had to walk it back, but there was that whole thing where they wanted, it was like they would still have physical copies, but it would have like a authorization in it, basically, where it was like it locked it to a certain console. And they had that same thing, and they just walked it back before they got in trouble for it. But this time they shot themselves in the face themselves. So, oops. And this really sucks, obviously, right? This is not just the very clear and obvious them trying to take complete control of the market, which they're actually being sued for. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But it's also, my sister sent me a TikTok of a guy crashing out about this whole thing. And it was basically just like, I was kind of alluding to it earlier, is like, okay, so you've just turned this into a situation where lower income people just like cannot play games. Like that's really what this is turning into, because it's obviously all the prices are already skyrocketing. You know, Grand Theft Auto is $80 to $100. The consoles prices are going up. All the service prices are going up. But now on top of that, it's like your mom who can buy you one game a year and wants to put it under the tree for Christmas can't do that anymore, because there's not a physical version to put on the tree. Like, what's she going to do? Unless she's going to go into your console and buy it for you through there. She could, but whose mom knows how to do that? You know what I mean? And then on top, and then, you know, besides that point, the PlayStation currently doesn't have a way to gift digital games to each other. So you couldn't even like buy it on your account and send it to your friend. There's people who have like data caps where they won't be able to download games digitally, so they rely on physical media to be able to play games at all, who will just not be able.
This comes a week after we learned PlayStation specifically just deleted people's movies because they ran out of license for it. So we're running into this situation that we've been saying was going to happen, of you bought this game, but you literally don't own it.
You don't have it.
At any point, it can be taken away from you.
Right.
And like Grand Theft Auto, $100, but you don't own it.
Right.
Because if for some reason, some licensing thing happens, oops, we can't pay for the Imagine Dragons we put on the radio, so now we have to take it away.
Yeah.
We're not going to patch it out. We're just going to delete your game and buy a new version.
Right. Yeah. That's what they want to go towards, really.
Because it might sound ridiculous. It might sound like, well, that would never happen. But they have now backed the consumers into a corner where they could do that if they wanted to. And it's just baby step, baby step, baby step until it's not ridiculous anymore, because they're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, and it's extra bad because it's like, not only have we already seen literally last week them do exactly the thing that is the problem with digital media, but on top of that, like PlayStation is the only group, the only platform in video games where they offer digital products, but you cannot buy digital products anywhere else. If you want to buy a digital Xbox game or a digital Steam game, you can get those codes on other storefronts. You can go to GOG and you can get a code and you just type it in on your Xbox, type it on your PC. You can't do that on PlayStation, meaning that once this goes through, PlayStation will have 100% control of all sales for everything on their platform. There will be no moderating it whatsoever. It's a complete monopoly of their platform. Which they're already being sued for, by the way. There's like a dozen class action lawsuits going through right now about it. And yeah, it completely, you know, the launch of the Xbox One, there was that really famous bit where Xbox, you know, people thought that you wouldn't be able to trade Xbox games physically back and forth anymore. And PlayStation had Shuhei Yoshida and Adam Boyce, both of whom have been fired from PlayStation by now, did that thing where it's like, this is how you share games on PlayStation. They just handed the box to a different guy and they're like, that's how you do it. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that because there's no physical media. They've taken the nuclear option where it's not even just the way Xbox was going to do it back then, which is already bad. Because physical media was still going to exist then, it would just be locked to your console, and you would have to like unlock it and then give it to somebody and then lock it there again. Like it was a really complicated and bad process that fortunately never ended up happening because it would have been a pain in the ass. And this is worse than that because this is, you don't have zero options. You're buying a code for this one account to do this one thing for as long as we say it's okay. And that's it. That's what you're spending $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6 for. Granted, that one comes out before, but it doesn't have a physical copy really anyway, so we're already in the boat as far as that one's concerned. So it's basically a shit show. And their storefront is so bad. Like, not only will they have complete control over the price of every single thing on their platform, but also it's a situation where PlayStation already like never does sales on their stuff, like very rarely has any decent sales on their stuff, which every other platform, Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo, count them. Everybody else will have like, here's the summer sale and everything's like super fucking discounted. PlayStation never really does that. They have a couple, but it's like not even on the same level. And then if you remember from a couple of, I think, months back at this point, but we were talking about them doing their dynamic pricing bullshit
That's right.
where they were like, hey, so your friend spends more time on PlayStation than you. So we know that they will spend more money. So we will charge them more. We will basically sabotage them for their loyalty to PlayStation and make them pay more. Or in the best case scenario, it's the opposite of that, where it's like, well, they're more loyal to PlayStation, so we're going to give them a discount and you're going to pay $100 and they're going to pay $80. Because it's not even really, no one's getting a discount. Like in every version that we've seen of it so far, it's not the person on either side of that argument is getting a discount. It's the other person is having to pay more. That's what it has been every single time, which is really cool and awesome. They also currently have no plan for how to deal with people's existing physical libraries. Xbox has a process that they've been working on for a long time where you basically digitize your physical collection. You just put the disc in and it'll give you access to that game until such time as that disc is used on a different console, and then it'll attach it to that console instead. That's a thing that they've been doing internally for a while now, that people are assuming that they're going to roll out because, it is true that more people buy things digitally than physically, and it's been that way for a while. So people are looking for ways to make your physical library work digitally. And so Xbox has been doing that for a little while, apparently. But that still doesn't destroy your physical media. That doesn't stop you from trading your game. It's just like, hey, do you want to have the benefits of not having to stand up to put the disc in for the games that you bought 10 years ago before digital stuff was really a thing?
Burning a CD.
Basically. Yeah. And I think the internet is completely on point. Like, with the exception of a couple of predictable shills, almost the entire internet is just lighting them up in a way that PlayStation has never been lit up before. The combination of this and them completely botching everything with Bungie in like basically back-to-back weeks has been an absolute fucking abysmal blunderfuck over at that company. They are getting destroyed online. To the point where I was in a GameStop today, actually, and I was hearing somebody talking to an employee there just being like, yeah, so I'm basically just like done with PlayStation. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I do think, unfortunately, that the rest of the industry will follow PlayStation down this path. Like Xbox will probably also not. Though if PlayStation actually goes through with this, because I think they probably will, but there's a possibility that they get bullied out of it, hopefully. But they probably will go through with it. If that does happen, then Xbox will follow, because it is cheaper for them to not make physical media, and they do. All these companies want is money, and it takes it stops the resale market, which prevents them from making money on these extra sales.
I mean, especially since if PlayStation just dead stops making physical games, then like why retailers are going to stop carrying games, and then there's going to be like no places to put out physical games. Like it's a snowball effect,
right?
So like it's already hard enough to find physical media in places like Walmart and stuff doesn't sell Blu-rays anymore, or at least certain ones that I go to.
Right.
Best Buy doesn't sell Blu-rays anymore. So like that, if a third of the gaming section just disappears, then at first it's going to just get shoved into a smaller corner, and then they're
Right.
going to be like, well, what do we even have this gaming space for? Because people aren't coming in to look at games anymore.
Yeah.
Then Xbox and Nintendo don't have a place, shelves to put their physical games, so they're like, well, why are we even bothering? Fuck it. And then
Right.
yeah,
And
of course.
I do think Nintendo will probably be the last people to do it because they're always the last to do basically everything, which in this case is a good thing. Usually it's not. In this case, it's good. But yeah, I mean, if PlayStation is basically able to get away with this, then yeah, the whole industry will just follow. I mean, I guess technically it's Steam who started this bullshit, because Steam completely murdered the physical media space on PC. They basically just like when was the last time you've seen a physical copy of a PC game? Never, right? It's like 2004.
When you go to your friend's house and they've got a dusty Warcraft box on the shelf.
All right, I dust my shit first of all.
I wasn't talking about
Yeah,
you
you were.
necessarily.
Yeah, you were.
All right.
Who else's house do you go to? Who played Warcraft?
My childhood friend of the show, Eduardo. He played Warcraft.
Okay.
He had Warcraft
So
boxes.
a long time ago that you've been to his house, I assume.
Yeah, I was like 12.
Yeah. So probably at that point, physical media still existed for PC. But yeah, it's really bad. It's truly, truly terrible. It will. And the thing is, right, let's even pretend, right? Let's put away all logic and all sense. Let's pretend that it is actually 85 or whatever they said percent of people are buying digitally. And so cutting off your physical media section would only drop all of your sales 15%. Is PlayStation in a place right now where they can afford to sell 15% less of their games? Is PlayStation in a place right now where
that's a large chunk?
It's a big chunk. Like, you know, when we're talking about 10 million, that's a million. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big drop off. And especially when you consider that they're pulling all their single player shit off of PC, so they're not going to be selling it there anymore. When you consider that their last couple of single player games have not been selling well already, Ghost of Yotei has been pretty much a huge failure in terms of sales for them, which they've admitted in multiple earnings calls. And I believe Saros is doing extremely badly. Are we in a place? Are we PlayStation in a place where we're willing to say, you know what I don't need is 10% of my money, 15% of my money, 20% of my money, right? Like, are we, does that make sense? All of the people can't buy our system, which is going to be the only place where you'll be able to even purchase these things soon because the consoles are so expensive and we can't get memory or whatever because all the prices are going up like fucking crazy. Does it make sense for us to be like, and you can't buy anything anywhere else?
No, but nothing in this games industry makes sense. And you know that there's somebody who works there at PlayStation whose job it is to ask these questions, and they've decided to roll it out anyways. So I don't fucking know.
Probably the most hilarious mishandling of this situation from a PR perspective is the fact that in the exact same post, in the exact same blog post, they were like, and we're shutting down the PlayStation 3 and PS Vita digital storefronts. So it's like, you can only buy things digitally and we can just delete your library whenever we want. By the way, just in case you forgot, we can delete your shit whenever you want. Which I mean, and to be fair, the PlayStation 3 store has been a shit show for a while because they intentionally broke it like years ago. I figured, so we were talking about it last week or whatever. I had reached out to a friend of the show, Christian, to figure out like, hey, is the PlayStation 3 store still running? The timing on it could not have been more apropos, apparently.
Of course.
Because we were trying to figure out, I saw like a blog post that was like, oh, Parasite Eve 2, you can still buy that on the PlayStation 3 store for some reason. And he was like, so you can't open it on the PlayStation 3 because they didn't update to it for some reason, where the store now it requires more memory than the PlayStation 3 has. So it cannot open. If you try to open it, it'll just crash it. So you have to buy it through the PlayStation 3 store on the internet, like on your browser. And then it'll show up in your library and you can download it from there. So it was already broken, intentionally by them broken. And now they're shutting it down completely. And I believe you'll still have access to the things that you've purchased on there for now. Because who fucking knows at this point. But worth noting, your PlayStation 3 purchases are not on your PlayStation 4. They're not on your PlayStation 5. That's a thing that I think has been sort of ignored. is they're the only company not moving forward your purchases like that, because the PlayStation 3's architecture has made it in such a way that a lot of those games still cannot be played on modern hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those things, you know, Parasite Eve 2, only available on the PlayStation 3 store, not available on the PS4, PS5. You can't buy them there. And so that purchase doesn't show up in your library there because it doesn't exist there. And it's the same thing for like the Resistance titles, or like, you know, some of their own first party shit from the PlayStation 3 generation cannot be purchased on modern hardware because they haven't taken the time to bother making it playable, I guess. And so that shit's just going to be gone. They're just deleting entire how long was the PlayStation 3 Vita generation? Like a decade? They're just deleting like a decade of their history.
Yeah, what is that? 2006, 2007 maybe? 2007 to 2000 and
I think 13,
12, 13?
12
Yeah.
or 13, yeah. Like it's a long time. It's like 6-7 years, I think. Do the thing.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's a long time. And they're just deleting those storefronts in the exact same email that they're saying. And also the new storefront that will definitely shut down at some point in the future. That's going to be the only place where you can buy stuff going forward from 2028 going forward. How fucking just tone deaf do you have to be to not space those two things out? Like, what's the situation? Who is in charge of these decisions at PlayStation? That they're
it definitely is tone deaf. If you assume that they care at all of what consumers think, but I think truly they've been conditioned to not care because of the cult-like mentality that you know, gamers on this or that side of the fence act towards everything.
Yeah.
Like the fact that certain video game space pundits have been sucking their favorite multi-million-dollar corporation's dick for the better part of last 20 years.
Yeah.
Means that the companies are now conditioned to be like, well, they're going to back us up no matter what we do. And there are people still now actively proving that to be true.
Right. That same person who we talked about last week, that same person was admitting that this was bad, but at the same time being like, well, but I've moved to digital entirely already for like years. Like so he's like already trying to like downplay it as like, well, granted, he's a huge reviewer who doesn't buy anything. They send him codes for every single game that exists. So yeah, of course he hasn't. Of course you haven't fucking. Yeah. Of course you haven't fucking bought a physical game. It gets fucking spoon fed to you because they want you to shill their shit, and you're doing it. Absolutely ridiculous. Just killed 2 entire libraries and then said, and our next library is the only one where you'll ever be able to buy anything. Ridiculous. I don't know. I think the reaction online has been really positive in terms of hating that shit. And I don't know how much that's going to matter, but I do think if any other platform, Xbox or Nintendo, because Steam, it's too late for them, comes out and is like, we're still doing physical media, huge fucking win for them for next generation. Huge win immediately. And Nintendo basically doesn't even have to say it because it's assumed for them. So really, hey, Asha Sharma, you've got the opportunity, the fucking funniest thing right now. And you're not going to do it. I know she's not going to do it.
No, but they could clap back and just like do the handing of the physical box to.
Think about how great that would be.
They could do the same exact bit.
Well, and they totally could too, because they won't. To be clear, I don't actually think they will. But the ongoing rumor, because at Project Helix, the next Xbox was assumed to be coming out in 2027 up until recently, and then the rumor has been that because of, you know, all the pricing and all the bullshit, that part of this like reset that they're doing is they're gonna have to push it back because they have to rethink like what that console is and make it more viable financially. They could slap it if right now they're looking at it and it doesn't have a disc drive. This would be a really good time for them to just be like, you know what, actually, we're gonna put a disc drive on that thing.
We'll put 2 disc drives.
It's the cheapest fucking part in that whole box, guaranteed. It's like $20.
Yeah. So Xbox should walk that back immediately, because for the record, I'm opposed to that as well.
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, it's gonna be a mess. I am pretty sure Xbox is just gonna follow them straight down into that particular bullshit hole, unless they get
probably.
Unless PlayStation gets like some real blowback, like that is noticed against them financially.
I mean, it's up to it's up to the people to vote with their wallets. It's the
Yeah.
Disneyland problem of like, well, these Disneyland tickets are so unaffordable. I, I can't take my family to Disneyland. But then the Disney adults come in and they're like, oh, I'll do it. I'll pay. So they're paying. The
Right.
Disney adults are
Yeah.
paying double to cover for the fact that the families aren't going.
Right. Well, and you also have to keep in
Yeah.
mind that the people running these companies don't understand this industry. They do not understand this industry and have not for a long time. And the people running the stock tickers don't understand this industry at all. Because look at how Grand Theft Auto is only $80, not $100, and then their stock at Rockstar dropped for like 3 days straight because they were like, "Oh, you're not going to make enough money off of it." When the entire fan base, the entire people who would be giving you that money, are saying, "Okay, well that's too high. I can't buy it anymore." Like the people are telling you you will make less money because it's too high, and the shareholders are telling you you will make less money because the price is too low. So like, good luck squaring that fucking circle. But like, if I've got bills to pay and I got to get fucking groceries, I'm not spending $100 fucking on Grand Theft Auto, a game that I probably won't even like. That's me
You need
personally.
to. You need to like. Are you gonna get the amount of hours to be warranted $100 out of Grand
No,
Theft Auto?
because it doesn't even have the
And
online.
and there, you know what? That's a good fucking point. That's a good answer.
Because the fucking online is going to be a separate purchase for like $50. And then you'll have to have the fucking subscription service that they're tricking you into getting with the pre-order. This is fucking stupid. The whole situation is fucking stupid. I understand that Grand Theft Auto is like the biggest, most popular fucking thing in the world, and that it's gonna sell a ton, and it's gonna do well by normal standards. I can't
Oh, it'll be
imagine a
game of the
world.
year.
Yo, probably, yeah, because because the same fucking shills who are shilling for all this other shit are gonna be shilling for that too, and they're gonna be like, oh, the deer's balls change when it gets cold out or whatever the fuck, like they did for Red Dead 2, which unfortunately Red Dead 2 actually was a pretty good game.
Yeah, well, yeah, it came out and it was regular priced and it was a game.
And it was
It was a
good.
full game.
And
Yeah.
you played it and you had fun. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and there was an online, but you didn't have to fucking, anyway, it doesn't matter. A different conversation, that one. But like, yeah, they're gonna be sucking that thing's dick if it comes out this year, which it's pretty confident at this point that I think it probably will. So that prediction that we made at the beginning of the year is probably wrong. But fuck me, yeah, it's gonna win a ton of fucking awards, and it's gonna sell really well. I can't imagine a world where it sells well enough on just these consoles that we've already been told have not been growing for a long time. That it's going to be able to sell enough in the first year when there won't be online and it won't be on PC for them to feel good about the returns that they're getting on that game. So they're going to look at the game as a failure. The company, I guarantee you, Rockstar will look at this game as a failure. They might not say it, but the layoffs will tell us that they think so. The studio closures will tell us that they think so when they close down 2 of the Rockstar locations. When that probably happens, then I mean, fuck, man. Like, the industry is being led around by the nose by something that is so unsustainable that now not even Rockstar can likely make a real true profit off of the thing that they're making.
Yep.
And that's scary. But Skyler, you want to talk about something moderately more positive?
Is it Captain America's penis?
No, but it could be.
You want to talk about Captain America's penis?
I don't. I mean, I don't. They put it so. Hey, Marvel Rivals is a Gooner game where all the skins are.
But it's now officially an equal opportunity Gooner game.
And we love that for them. They put out their summer skins, which everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna put all the ladies in bikinis," and they're like, "Well, yes, but also we're gonna put the guys in extremely tight swimsuits with huge bulges that jiggle while you run."
Check out the hog on this fucking super soldier.
Yeah, that's America's dick. Happy 250.
Just in time. Just in time. So, okay, speaking of correspondence with our mutual friend of the show, Christian.
Right. Yeah.
I messaged him the picture, and because he had messaged me like a week ago.
The Captain America picture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had messaged me like a week ago, and he'd been like, they're doing this like skin for him, and showed me the original like comic panel where Captain America appears to have much, we'll say, much more tanned skin.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
pretty dark.
Yeah.
And then I sent him this. He was like, "Yeah, that's the skin I was talking to you about." And I was like, "Yeah, well, you neglected to mention." and he
Hey
said
man.
he said, "Mention what?"
Fuck
And I
you.
just
What do you
I s-
mean?
I sent the eggplant emoji, and he said Skyler in all caps. He said, "You know that's edited." And I said, "Prove it. Find the original." And then he disappeared for a second, and he messaged back, and he said, "Why would they do this?"
Because I thought the same thing. When I saw this picture, I was like, clearly this is fake, right? People are going in and like modding in jiggle physics on the dick
Uh-huh.
and balls. Nope. Nah. The men even
That's
got jiggle
awesome.
physics on their titties, which,
They got
I
big titties, the
respect
men.
it.
Yeah.
All the people are built like fucking Doritos, so you may as well, if their pecs are going to be that big, they're going to move. You ever seen a buff man run? They be jiggling. And Man of Steel ain't exactly made of steel. Ugh.
Oh boy.
But no, speaking of the Man of Steel, our final story is a spoiler-filled review of the Supergirl movie. So hey guys, if you want to check out now, and you still plan on seeing Supergirl, which I mean, hey, here's this quick non-spoiler review. It's not very good, but it's still probably worth seeing. I don't think it's terrible. So, but I also
I
don't know that there's anything we're gonna say in this conversation that will spoil it and make it worse for you. So you're probably fine. But if you don't want to hear it, I understand, and this is your
yeah.
time. This is your warning. This is your chance to clock out.
I basically echo that sentiment.
Yeah. So Skyler,
Yeah.
how you feel about Supergirl?
Um, man,
Yeah.
I I went in hoping the best,
Mhm.
and it was very disappointing,
That's a good
I
word
would
for it.
say. Disappointing would be the word. And I don't want to just like echo what people are saying, like, oh, it wasn't the writing was really weak, but Millie Alcock's really good. I do think that, and I
That
think
is true.
and I think like her showing up in a different thing, future stuff, use her again. I would be happy for that. I would look forward to that. They're gonna use Lobo again. Jason Momoa as Lobo. It was exactly what you would think Jason Momoa as Lobo would be. He get
He
literally that's what it is, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, if you think that's perfect, then it's perfect, and if they use that again, you'll probably be happy. Um, but I think this movie on a whole was just a big letdown.
It it's just the biggest problem for me is that it's not even like interestingly bad. Like
No.
it's just so bland, you know?
Yeah.
Is
Very bland.
they for every I mean, and we knew that from the trailer that it was already going to be pretty bland color-wise, but then, I thought hopefully that they were saving some of that color, some of that excitement, because the comic is extremely colorful
We're coming
for
at this
later
from
parts.
two different perspectives. You have read Woman of Tomorrow, which this is based slash inspired by,
Pretty I
and
mean, yeah, I guess it is.
and
Yeah.
and and I have not read Woman of Tomorrow. Um, and I'm still disappointed by how bland this came out to be.
Yeah.
Especially remember when they were like, "This is very much has the feel of Guardians of the Galaxy," and I'm like, "Well, Guardians of the Galaxy had color."
Yeah, it's I understand where people are coming from when they say that. There's parts of it where I'm like, yeah, this has that like space is gross thing, for sure. But it doesn't have the same style for sure. It does not hit the highs that Guardians of the Galaxy it did by any stretch of the
Mhm.
imagination. Ironically, I think if they had just done panel for panel the fucking comic book, it would have been a lot closer to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mhm. Mhm.
um, but yeah, I agree with you. Like it is to repeat. Unfortunately, everyone's talking points. It's like, yeah, Millie Alcock is great, and Jason Momoa is great. Like they are genuinely great in this movie, and they aren't given a ton. I'll be honest with you. I think one of my biggest issues with this movie is that I think while I love Jason Momoa as Lobo, I think he plays the character extremely well, and I even enjoy watching him in this movie. I think the
Mhm.
movie would be a lot better without him. I think that he takes something away from he distracts from
Well,
what we should be doing in this story, which is spending more time with this relationship between Kara and Ruthie, and then he's just kind of like there. He's like, it's like, are we gonna be able to focus on this, you know, introspective, deep like story of trauma with these two women when like there's a tiger over there drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette? You know what I mean? Like, are we gonna be able to do that? No.
I came to the conclusion that Lobo in this movie, although the performance is, as said, it's good. It's exactly what you'd expect from Jason Momoa as Lobo.
It's what I wanted.
Lobo's not a character in this movie, though. He's a McDonald's Happy Meal toy.
He
And I'll
is.
be happy to
Yeah.
explain what I mean by that. Is that for some reason, I don't know if you wouldn't assume the producers, because, James Gunn's very hands-on, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
But someone in the writer's room decided this is a girls' movie. It's not just a movie for everybody. It's a girls' movie, and you can tell that by the kind of obnoxious needle drops.
There's,
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say needle drops plural, but there's one that's real bad.
There's like two or three that I was like, okay, all right.
There's the bit where they go into the bar and she's like, "Oh, play something," and then she starts playing like a song, like the lady at the bar in space starts playing an Earth song, and you're like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But that didn't like. I didn't think that the needle drop itself was bad. The final fight needle drop of the like Jimmy Eats World, the middle.
But it's
that
a
one,
cover.
That one was really, and it unfortunately I do really like that cover, but it just didn't fucking work in that moment at all. It's this for if anyone hasn't seen it and they're listening to this spoiler, it's what's her name? Something Gray, I think. Whatever. She's relatively popular, but she's doing this like really folksy, breathy like rendition of Jimmy Eats World, the middle. So it's just like, everything'll be just fine. Everything'll be all right. And there's a huge fucking action scene going on. And there's a version of this where it could have worked, but I think it's so unearned. And then the lyrics of everything's going to be all right, when that's the whole plot of the movie, or like the whole message of the movie, I guess, which they don't do a good job getting across at all. But it's just, it's on the fucking nose. Like it's so bad. It's really bad.
It's like, when I say that I think the needle drops are obnoxious, I don't mean the songs themselves at all. It's the placement and usage. It's like, remember in fucking Captain Marvel, which is a bummer to compare this to, because that was also not super great. And they're both
the lady ones,
female superhero-led films.
Yeah.
But like, she's beating guys up to "I'm Just a Girl" by No Doubt. It's like, how many seconds did you think before you came up with that one?
Honestly, even if you just played, you could have the same needle drop and just take the lyrics out in both instances, and it would have been better.
Seriously. But when I call him a McDonald's Happy Meal toy, Lobo, in this movie, it's because, as stated, they're like, well, this is a girl movie. Little boys aren't going to want to go see Supergirl. So what do we put in the movie? Put Lobo in the movie. That'll get the boys in the seats while the girls are watching Supergirl.
Yeah, man.
That's what it felt like to me.
Dudes hate seeing cute girls do things. They hate that. Fucking dumbass McDonald's employees or whatever.
I think the best beats of this movie, if we're not just talking about like the performance of Kara and Lobo being fun for how little he's in the movie or whatever. And I don't dislike the girl that plays Ruthie in this either. I think she did fine. I wasn't interested in the driving force of the film didn't work, but that's not the actress's fault.
She's not a great version of the character, I'll say. But I don't think she did a bad job. I think it's the script, it's the writing that really let her down.
But my favorite beats and moments of this was basically just all the flashbacks and background that we got on Supergirl,
all the Argo City
and Argo City,
so
Krypton. Clark, David Cornsweet, shows up in this a handful of times. in flashback and at the end of the film,
Mhm.
and he's great. Love Superman.
There's a couple of his bits that I didn't love, but for the most part, yeah. I think the ending is robbed of some impact uh,
Well,
from a couple of things. But yeah.
I think the ending is robbed of impact because she just decided to go back to Earth. I don't feel like her story arc of I'm done drinking away my problems was, I don't want to say it wasn't earned. It just like it didn't happen. She just decided like we beat this bad guy and Ruthie told me to wake up, so I guess I'll go home. That was it. I felt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's also this thing because it's rough, right? Because in the comic, that's not what it is, right? Like that's not what the situation is, and so they're adapting from this material that doesn't have that plot line in it. But like she in okay in the comic, yes, she is going into space and she's getting drunk on her birthday to and she is going through the trauma of losing her entire people. That's all real, but she's been on Earth for a bunch of time, and she's gonna go back to Earth already. She's just taking a sabbatical to like feel some shit. Like
Mhm.
she's just having a bad week, basically. Or well, actually, in the comic, it's like multiple months, but that's only because she gets wrapped up in this bullshit with Ruthie. That in the movie takes 3 days, and in the comic is I think like 4 or 5 months. Um, but yeah, there's so the comic doesn't provide them with an out for like, oh, this is how she has decided, like, oh, Earth is my home or whatever. It gives a reason for why she's like sort of more come to terms with the loss. Not that she's like over it, but she's able to sort of put some of it behind her.
Yeah.
But yeah, they put themselves in a tough situation of like taking this story that they're already going to adapt really badly and then also be like, and we have to figure out a way to do this other extremely like delicate and specific thing of like how do we justify her finding a new home basically, and
Yeah.
they completely fail to do that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's it's interesting. The ending is one of the worst parts, to be 100% honest with you. At the end of this movie, Krem, who actually Krem is probably the worst part. The villain is fucking terrible. He's really really bad. Um,
I I didn't okay, so again, haven't read Woman of Tomorrow, so I don't have the original version of Krem to compare him to, but I do from what I've heard, he's night and day. It's
yeah,
just
well,
and what we end up getting in this is just the most generic
he's awful.
bad guy space pirate you could fucking imagine. That and that's like all of the bad guys in this. I don't see what makes Krem any more of a threat than any other space pirate. They're
He
just
for
they're
some
just
reason,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
he for some reason in this they've given him like super strength because at one point he's like holding a tank above his head. He
He
doesn't have
does
that.
catch I
He
was
doesn't have
surprised when that
that.
happened. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I guess he's strong."
yeah.
But that doesn't
And that
matter.
defeats kind of the whole purpose of the book a little bit because he's the villain of the book and he is just a guy. Like
Yeah,
the
that's what
point
I've
is
heard.
that he's just some dude. Like he's not important. He's not extremely powerful. He's not like he's not this huge threat. He's just like he's just a lens through which Kara and Ruthie are able to sort of deal with their trauma and deal with their issues.
Yeah.
He's not in most of the book. Like a lot of the book is them going from place to place and like seeing the aftermath of what him and his guys have done. Right? Like they go to a planet and he's wiped out like everyone on it. Uh and like they go to a planet where I mean basically that's he's gone to a bunch of planets and killed a bunch of people. Like to the point where there's one bit where there's a planet that like recorded everything that him and his goons did on the planet. They have it like in some building. And Kara tells Ruthie that she's not allowed to watch it. She has to wait outside while she goes in. And then she's in there for like a day, and she comes out and she's just like visibly shaken. She doesn't say, we never find out what any of it was, but it's just like for the first time she's able to actually like see the brutality of what these people are doing. And the whole
Mhm.
point is that it's unfair and it's uncontrollable and there's nothing you can do about it. And so like lashing out at it and killing all these people like like getting revenge isn't the solution. Like that's what the whole point is, that it's just like they are a force of nature basically.
Yeah.
Um, but in this, they basically completely throw that out by trying really hard to make him, unfortunately, a comic book villain, which he's not. Really, he's just a fucking dude. So instead of him being just a guy who's a redhead like space pirate, they put all these fucking piercings on his face and they give him superpowers, and he's like mean mugging the camera a bunch and like
Yeah,
eating every piece of food he can find.
they try to give him this like wit to prepare for his role. The guy watched the scene where in The Dark Knight where the Joker takes the drink and eats the shrimp.
Yeah,
You know,
basically.
that's all he does.
But the most embarrassing thing about this movie, from a person who's read the books perspective, because people watching, I actually, before I even say it, what I want to know, what's your take on her killing him at the end?
Oh, I thought it was fucking terrible. I thought it was stupid.
Right.
Yeah. I was like trying to think like, because you're at the point at the end of the third act where like, okay, we've defeated the bad guy. What's the message here? Because I'm trying to figure out leading up to this. She's been saying like, Ruthie, don't kill this guy, don't take revenge, don't whatever. And I'm like, okay, so this is an anti-revenge thing. And then Kara stabs and murders this man who's a bad guy, of
Yeah.
course.
I don't feel bad for him.
And his main crimes in this film are like kidnapping children and like sex trafficking them.
He appears to be not even appear. He is a sex trafficker, and he killed Ruthie's family. Those are the big crimes that we see. His crimes are significantly worse in the comics.
Yeah, so I mean, but like, so did this dude need to get dealt with? Absolutely, but like, so is the message that like, Kara is like, Ruthie, don't kill him because the revenge won't help you. It'll just take you down a dark path, ruin your life. And then she's like, well, fuck it. I'm already sad, so I'll kill him. Was that it?
That's kind of what it ends up feeling like.
The thought process?
Yeah. That's what it comes off as, is like, Ruthie, you still have the chance to not be the way I already am, so I'm gonna kill him for you, right? That sort of situation of like, he needs to die, I guess. So I'll kill him so that you don't, like, that's, and Lobo's up on the fucking hill smirking and smiling about it, and I'm like, you probably shouldn't have been in this movie.
I thought he left because he did his thing and he flew off into space and then he was just back. What?
He was on it. He just up on a hill on his motorcycle, just being real interested, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I don't really know what the message there was supposed to be. The most embarrassing part of it is you can really tell that they just, and the people have said that they didn't read the comic, but you can tell that they read
pride in that.
Yeah, the director like came out and was like, yeah, I didn't really read it, I didn't focus. And it's like, okay, well, I know the movie when it came out wasn't still called Woman of Tomorrow, but it clearly is. Like, you've taken the skeletal remains of this plot line, and that is what your movie is. Like, they follow the plot of Woman of Tomorrow probably closer than Civil War does Civil War. But then they just fuck up everything about it. So that's where the conversation comes more in, I think. Is it's just like the ending of her killing him, it's a fake ending. Like, that is the lie in the book that Ruthie throughout the whole comic book is narrating it. And the thing is that she's writing a book about her experience. Right. And so you get these like relatively lengthy text bubbles of like her describing what's happening. And that's where a lot of the conversation comes from, is just that narration. And so by the end, or like at the beginning of the comic, it says that Kara killed Krem, that she stabbed him and then gave Ruthie her sword back. And I think that's as far as they got reading the comic, because at the end, when Kara goes back to Ruthie's planet, after like long after, there's like a time skip, and then we go back when she's an older woman, and she's like, Ruthie's like, hey, yeah, like, I just wrote that you killed him in the book. Like, I'm sorry, you shouldn't, like, I'm sorry that you had to read that. But I just did that so that the remaining bandits or whatever, like, wouldn't come and look for me because like I killed him. You know what I mean? And she's like, no, that's fine. Because what had actually happened is that they caught him and they threw him in the fucking Phantom Zone. And then it's like 100 years or so, however fucking long later, Kara, because, this is its own self-contained story. They don't have to worry about the rest of the canon. She like, really, it's, he's repented in the Phantom Zone. She lets him out. He's an old man. And he's like apologizing and groveling. And then Ruthie punches him in the face real hard. And then that's the end of the story, is like they locked him up for, I think it was like multiple hundreds of years, which is a better ending.
which by the way, they could have done here.
They could have said the Phantom Zone.
We don't have an established like thing with the Phantom Zone right now, but we've got the parallel Earth X, and we've got all this shit, and we've got kaijus jumping around Metropolis. You're telling, like, certainly there's a Phantom Zone that we could have just put him in.
Lex Luthor already had an alter-dimensional prison. The Phantom Zone is not left field for us at this point. And also, it's already been in previous movies. The fan base knows what it is. It's not a new thing. It's not a new concept.
But then Kara just kills him.
Just stabs him in the fucking neck. And like, if she hadn't spent the whole movie being like, oh, you shouldn't kill him, blah, 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 I wouldn't even necessarily be mad at her killing him. Like, Supergirl, even in the comic, is a lot more violent than Clark is. Like, she doesn't have the same no-kill policy, really.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she tries not to, but she's not gonna not, if it needs to happen. So it's just like, I don't know. It's really badly handled. I think, yeah, clearly they didn't finish the comic. That ending is proof enough of that. I also think it's incredibly offensive that in this really, really like ugly gray and brown movie, that they invent a new planet where the bandits are from, that's full of sex traffickers and disgusting crime and villainy and bullshit that's not in the comic at all. And then
they named it after the was it the artist?
It was the artist. Yeah, they name it after the person who drew Bilky, who wrote or drew rather one of the most colorful and like visually arresting comic books of the modern era.
That's a weird place to pay homage.
And I'm sure they meant it as a compliment.
Not gonna read into it.
Yeah. But hey, that feels like a fucking gut punch, actually.
Also, another thing that was annoying me throughout it was like every time, because we are told Kara goes to Red Sun planets to drink because she can get drunk there. She can't get drunk at the Yellow Sun. So we already have this established Red Sun, Yellow Sun difference. We get that.
Right.
But then there are other times where like Kara gets weakened or temporarily stripped of her powers. Every single time it felt contrived.
We find so many different ways to take Supergirl out of this movie. You know, she's getting shot with poison darts that shouldn't be able to pierce her skin. Like, it's just ridiculous, frankly. She gets like drugged, and then she drinks some milk so that she can coat her stomach, and then that's a whole action scene. And it's a fucking... And there's in that same action scene, she stops Ruthie from killing Krem, which she's going to do an hour later. And she's like, don't kill him. And then while she's lecturing him about like, oh, you shouldn't kill this super criminal, he's off killing a family of 3.
He kills 3, mother, father, and daughter. Yeah.
It's like, hey man, if you want us to feel like she's right, don't put those fucking scenes back to back.
And then Ruthie says as much. And we're like, huh, yeah, she's right.
Yeah.
I think the most contrived one is one that really shouldn't have been contrived. It's the Green Sun.
Yeah.
Because that's from the comic, from my understanding.
It is, but it makes more sense there.
And how it plays out in this film is there's 2 suns on this planet, a green and yellow. Whoa, could you imagine?
Yeah.
And Kara gets big old tummy sick because of the Green Sun, and she just lies down in the dirt, and she's like, oh no, I'm bad. And then she just has to wait, and the Yellow Sun comes, and she's like, okay, I'm better.
Yeah,
that was it.
She just has to get written out of the story for a while so that Ruthie can go hang out with Lobo on the pirate ship.
Because the movie's called Ruthie.
Yeah, Ruthie, the woman
Oh,
of tomorrow.
wait, no, it's not.
Oh, it's called
It's
Supergirl.
called Supergirl. And I know it's a complaint that has been said about many superhero films before and will be said about superhero films to come. But for a movie called Supergirl, Supergirl's not in it a lot. And I'm not
Yeah,
just meaning that, like, I'm not saying she has to wear the costume the whole movie. I'm just saying she
yeah,
doesn't really just she doesn't do a lot.
no. It's a lot of her getting beaten up and written out of entire scenes
In a
before
dark
she,
gray planet.
yeah, until she is able to get some amount of yellow sun, and then she has a big explosive fight that, like, most of them look pretty good, I guess, but otherwise it's just like, okay, great, cool, yeah, she's a super person, she can do superpowers, neato.
Also, and I guess this is just a problem with the science fiction corner of the comic book universe that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to let it go. But the thought did cross my mind a couple of times. Like, there's all these spacefaring people and these races and these planets that, like, look at the Star Wars cantina basically, and there's a bus that picks people up from one planet and takes people to another planet. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck was Krypton's problem?
What was the
Were
deal?
they
Yeah,
like, how did nobody else get away?
there's not a single other living Kryptonian, presumably. I mean,
No, there's gotta be
I guess
some.
Zod's probably out there somewhere.
We're gonna get a
Um,
couple.
well, there's that other planet in some versions of the comic universe where it's like basically Krypton, but it's not really, and it's like where Mon-El comes from. I don't remember
Yeah.
what the fuck it's called, but there's like, it's like a different planet that they like colonized, but then the bloodline got like run thin, so they're not quite as strong or whatever. I don't remember.
So we're just led to believe that Krypton was super technologically advanced and awesome and cool and conquerors,
Yeah,
but they weren't spacefaring at all.
that's another thing that I think is that one of the ideas that I like about this movie
Hmm.
is obviously what you're saying is completely true.
Hmm.
One of the things I like about this movie is how when we're back on Krypton, Kara's parents are like, Clark's parents are fucking dumbasses. They're like, they sent him
Yeah.
off to be a fucking conqueror. That's not who we are. That's fucking gross. That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
Jor-El sucks.
Jor-El's a fucking dumbass. And then, so Clark, who had apparently terrible fucking planets, their parents on Krypton, got away from them and got to, Mom and Pa Kent, and then became this like, she doesn't say so in the movie. She's asked if he's naive. I think he's a little naive. I think Superman as a character in general is pretty naive. I think that's part of his
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So he gets to be this like joyful Boy Scout character, and then she actually went through all of it, but she had the good parents, quote unquote. I
Hmm.
like that twist of like, oh, her parents were actually good people. I wish that they had spent more time on Argo. There's a lot more that happens in the comic there that I would have liked to have seen. I do think that it's a bad decision to have her not born on Krypton but born on Argo, because then she didn't, like, she lost her city, but she didn't lose her whole planet. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't know all the.
Yeah.
So I think that is a little bit, but, and I understand why they did it, is they're like, well, she has to be younger, and they didn't want, I guess, with all the other stupid bullshit that we've already had in this universe, having the idea of her getting like time dilated on the way to Earth was out
now
of the
you
fucking
say
picture.
you say that, but you could have introduced the Phantom
You
Zone
could have
that
introduced
way.
the Phantom Zone, or you could have just done any kind of time dilation, or you could say that she was frozen in her ship on the way to Earth. You could do literally any number of things. Her dad, the elf from the Santa Claus, didn't build.
Yep.
He was basing it on what's his fucking name? Why can I not think of not Zor-El? Jor-El. He was basing it on Jor-El's designs, but he like got part of it wrong, and so she froze instead of aging at a normal rate or something, and so now it took longer to get there or something. Like, there's 100 fucking things you could have done, and instead you decided to have her not actually really be from Krypton, which I think it's a bad choice. I don't think it matters, but I think for me personally it's annoying. That's lame. There's a lot of ideas in this that I think, or a lot of aspects of this that I think are really cool. Like, I love her first meeting Clark. I think that's really cool. I liked getting that scene. I like the practical like costumes of a lot of the aliens. I think are cute. I didn't need the apparently it's not actually Seth Rogen. I guess it's like a voice double, but the little guy.
No, you fucking lie. That's Seth Rogen. You're a liar.
That's what the internet has told me. It could be wrong. I don't
No,
fucking know.
sorry. I'm looking it up right now.
Because the first thing I saw said that it was him, and then later the New Rockstars people said that it was a voice double. So I don't fucking know. I know that I shouldn't be so like comparing it to the comic, but I am. But I actually don't necessarily because clearly you didn't like it for a lot of the exact same reasons. So I don't necessarily even think that me comparing it to the comic is like lowering my opinion of it.
Theoretically.
But it is like there's a lot of things in the comic that I understand why they didn't do, and then there's other things where I'm like, that makes no sense. Why didn't you do that? Where it's like there's a bit where Krem has done all these mass murders, and that has allowed him to do magic to create an item called a Mordu globe, which is a one-use magic item that you throw at a person and then it sends them to the opposite side of the universe. And that's how he gets rid of Kara. And he sends her to that green sun planet, which is something that other villains have made, like have literally built that planet as a trap for Superman. And he was on that planet for like 45 minutes and had to call the Justice League to come and save him. And then she can't do that. So she has to spend 10 hours there with Ruthie protecting her from these like dinosaurs. And so that's supposed to be this moment of like, oh, well, she's able to put up with things, this sort of pain, this sort of torture better than Superman is because she's already been through so much more than him. Like it's supposed to be this moment of like differentiating between the two of them. And we don't do that at all here, really, because it means nothing. Because Superman, no one's creating a green sun for Superman in this universe. He's been working for like a year or some shit. You know what I mean?
They said we're year 2.
But then that also asks the question of like, why the fuck does Krem know about kryptonite? Where is he learning that? It wasn't a thing on Krypton. They didn't know what it was on Argo until they were dying. And Argo clearly didn't talk to anybody while they were drifting aimlessly through space. So how the fuck does he know? Superman has barely existed, and they don't talk to other planets, Earth, that we know of. So where is this information coming from? Why does he know that this will hurt her?
I believe the answer you're looking for is it is a poorly written film.
Like, doesn't make any fucking sense. Couldn't bother to think that one through. So they don't do the Mordu globe thing, and I think that makes sense. I understand them not doing that because if you're already cutting out all the genocide, then you can't also put in this thing that like is for, I don't know. And also like, do you want to introduce magic to the universe? It's already fucking confusing enough. But that then also removes the bit where she gets on Comet the super horse and has to race further than the existing universe to a place where color doesn't exist yet, so that the magic can't happen. Which is a really cool, pretty scene. And so you're cutting by making this one choice. You're missing all these other cool things that could have happened. You cut out like all of the things that Krem did. You're cutting out. There's this one bit in the book where she goes to a planet where him and his bandits have killed some untold number, but like probably thousands, if not millions of people on this planet. And she comes across this farmer who's burying people. He's burying the remains. And his whole thing is like, oh, well, I need to finish burying these bodies by a certain amount of time, or the mayor has said that we have to mass burn them so that it doesn't spread disease, which makes sense. Like that is what happens, unfortunately, in situations like that. And so she helps him bury them all. She like super speeds around and does all this shit. And she even like uses her X-ray vision to look at his DNA and figure out which one of the bodies was his daughter, which is like, I don't know that we need to throw in that level of power on her yet, but like, you know, anyway, it's this whole thing. And the comic treats it as this way of like her using this as like an opportunity to like spiritually bury her own people that she lost, because her people were effectively buried in a mass grave. And that's just completely gone from this. And I'm like, why would you do that? Well, like that is objectively one of the most powerful and meaningful scenes in the entire comic book. And it's not expensive. It would not be an expensive scene to make. Why are we not doing that? Like, why is that one cut? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And also, like, I understand cutting out a lot of his other crimes, because a lot of his other crimes are like, he goes to the first one that we come across is he goes to a planet where there's purple people and pink people, or is it blue people and purple people, whatever the fuck it is. And him and his guys like kill off one whole color of people because of racism. And I understand why you cut that out of the movie. Like, I get it. I understand. It's a weird time to be writing something like that. right? I mean,
Mhm.
you replace it with sex trafficking, which feels even more on the nose, but here we are. And so it ended up being this just like incredibly forgettable, like middle of the
It's a
road, boring
very
ass movie.
it's a very bland movie visually. It's a very bland movie conceptually. I don't think I don't want to say none of it works. But it's I earlier when you were like I don't remember what you said, but you were basically like, "Go see it if you want," and I was like, you could wait till it's on streaming." I don't
Yeah.
think this is a theater necessary film, which is so unfortunate. That's why the way I described it was disappointing because I was excited for this. Like I
Right.
wanted Supergirl. I wanted to see Millie Alcock as Supergirl, and that's luckily she was the best part. But that's really the only big positive I can say. I'm trying to
Hmm.
think. The humor doesn't really
No,
didn't really do anything for me.
I don't
You
think there
know
really
what?
was a lot of humor.
You know what? In Superman, when Krypto's fucking around being a bad dog, but Superman is like, "You're a bad dog." That's Krypto works there. When Krypto's running around and pissing on stuff and being bad,
Hmm.
and Supergirl's like, "That's my dog." Haha. I'm like, I don't think I like Krypto.
I don't think I like
Fuck this
Crypto.
dog.
I actually, I mean, I never really liked Crypto in this universe, but I think that he was used better in Superman. I mean, to be
Yeah,
fair, he's not really in this movie much. He's at the beginning and he gets shot, and that's why
that's
we have to
right.
take off. But he doesn't exist again until like the very end of the movie. But to be fair, like also in Super, not, I mean, I don't want to be like in the Man movie, but that's unfortunately what the
Yeah,
titles
that's
are.
that's
In
that's
Superman,
gross.
the one of the most like heartfelt moments is when he's going off and he's like, I gotta go save this fucking dog, and it's not even a good
It's
dog.
it's not even a good dog,
And
but
that's
he's alone and scared and
yeah,
yeah.
and that's like one of the best, most like emotionally impactful and
Yeah.
I think that is a better moment than exists in this movie, and it's not even the number one moment of that first movie.
I'm now I find myself in this disgusting place where I have to ask where do we go next in this universe? And we started this universe with me saying I don't want to do another universe, but we're here now.
Right, we've done
So
it.
we came into Superman and I like Superman. I wanted it to be a 5-star movie and it was a 4-star movie. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. And then we come into Supergirl and I wanted it to be a 4-star movie and I gave it 2.5.
Yeah,
And I
I think that's about
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And so that's we're 2 movies in, and then we've done Creature Commandos, which is whatever, it is what it
Yeah,
is. And
whatever the
then
fuck that is.
we did Peacemaker season 2, which was
Good, but felt like a different
good
thing.
good till it wasn't.
Yeah, the ending was
And then
stupid.
and so now we got Lanterns next, Clayface, and then Man of Tomorrow.
Hmm. And somewhere in there, I think there's that dynamic duo or cartoon, but I don't know what the fuck that is or when that comes out.
I I can't I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know. But what are our hopes going forward, I guess?
I mean, I really don't.
Considering that like 2 different major projects moving forward has the same writer as this.
I I don't. It's unfortunate, but I do think you probably need to get a new writer on Wonder Woman. Titans, I don't know. I feel like that's so far off that like maybe there'll be more enough time to like for her to learn something or change something. But we've been, man, I just don't think this writer is very good, and I hate saying that because like anyone can write a bad thing, and for all we know, there was like studio interference or whatever. This isn't the movie she wanted.
There
Whatever there
there
could have
was there was
possibly been.
there was definitely some studio interference to a degree because there was a story that I sent you that was like there were 2 cuts of this movie, the director's version and then the studio version. They screened both, got their reactions, and then Warner Brothers decided to go with the studio version.
Yeah,
And they said the director's version was 11 minutes longer and had more that focused on the villain. And I said, that wouldn't have helped. What are you talking
yeah, I don't
about?
think that would have helped. I don't think that would have unless by focused on the villain they mean added in some of the actual crimes that he did from the comic. Then like maybe,
Added a different villain.
yeah. Shit, man, I don't know. They might have made the better choice there. For if it is on paper, just we added more of this guy chuckle fucking around, then yeah, I didn't need to see that. Um, but man, yeah, it's disappointing. I don't think this is like, I don't think this like dooms the universe or whatever. I think Clayface is already
No,
going to be
no,
so
no.
completely its own thing that doesn't really matter. And honestly, even though
Yeah.
this is like a huge, like this is Supergirl's backstory effectively, I don't actually know how much it's going to matter to stories going forward. Cause like Krem's dead. He's not showing up again. Ruthie's not showing up again. I guarantee that. Lobo might, but I don't know how much this story impacted his fucking life. So it's basically just a backstory for why Supergirl's going to be more jaded than the other people.
Here's how it'll affect it. When she shows up in Man of Tomorrow, I'll stand up in my seat and I'll point and I'll yell murderer.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
that's really it. Everything else, nothing else affects it.
Yeah, so I don't think it really matters.
Cliff,
And you have to also remember, because people have been pointing this out, that like this is how the MCU started too, where it went Iron Man and everyone loved Iron Man, and then there's the Incredible Hulk, and it was not the same.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't necessarily think this is gonna
I
like
have this
hurt the universe.
weird benefit of being like, yeah, but that was 2008, you know.
Yeah,
So it's now we're in 2026, and it feels different. But maybe give it some time, and this I'll rewatch this movie when it comes to streaming. Maybe I don't. Who knows? It's not offensively bad. It was just like, oh, that was a letdown.
yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. It's like it's just very middle of the road.
I do still have high hopes for Clayface. I think it looks visually very interesting and cool.
Yeah,
Lanterns Lanterns I'm very hyped for.
we just got the first like screening reactions to Clayface, and apparently it's pretty fucking good. So,
I
granted, they
I
always say
gotta
that, but
I gotta tell you though, this is weird and maybe unfair,
yeah,
but if anything, this has lowered my interest and excitement for Man of Tomorrow a little bit. Not
yeah,
for any particular, because like it's another James Gunn joint, right? He's doing all of that. But like at this point, it's just like I want to take a further step away from the Superman side of this world.
yeah,
Can you
exactly.
show me someone else? And that's what Clayface is going to be, and that's what Lanterns is going to be. So
Yeah, Lanterns. I
we're
think
going to
Clayface
be
less so because Lanterns is just or Clayface is just going to be like very much its own thing to the thing where point where it won't even probably feel like this
yes,
universe. You
yes,
know what I
you're
mean?
right. You're right. And I'm going to be like, where's Batman? Which is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah,
But take that away. Um, I want other things that's not Superman now because you've hit me with two Superman projects back to back
hmm
basically, and one was good and one was not very good. And now you're like, here comes another one, and I'm like, well, at this
yeah,
trajectory, can you calm down a little bit? Can you show me
yeah,
where's the
yeah.
Flash? Where's the Flash?
Well, that's not slowing down, is it? But but
Yeah, but speed me up going that way in a
yeah,
different
yeah,
direction.
yeah. Yeah, it I totally get that and I agree with that. I'm also like this does make me less interested in Man of Tomorrow, but it for me I'm already in such a place right now with the DC universe where I'm just so fucking confused about like any of the choices being made. Like the fact that there's this fucking Jimmy Olsen Gorilla Grodd thing, like that blows me out the fucking water. I don't know whose idea that was or why that's being put forward. That's ridiculous.
By the time
Um
this fucking first phase of Gods and Monsters or whatever is over, I'm gonna be checked out entirely.
it's a mess. And it's like and I know the Snyder Bros are going to be taking it as a win, but even this is better than like probably the some of the better
True.
DCEU things.
I was
So
thinking right after my complaint of like, oh, Krypton is super advanced but not spacefaring, and there's all these like spaceships in this world, but no one's left Krypton. But like the Kryptonians in Man of Steel were literally spacefaring
they had, yeah,
and flying
dragons and
around the
shit.
different moons and stuff, and they all died anyways. So
Yeah.
how funny is that?
Yeah. Yeah, but for me, the biggest negative that this puts on the universe for me is that it's that thing that James Gunn kept fucking saying is like, we're not going to put out a movie until it's got a really good script, and that's like the worst thing about this movie is
hey, yeah, wait a minute.
The script and the writing are fucking terrible, and it's like, so if this hit that mark of like, oh well, we're jumping to Supergirl before Batman or Wonder Woman or any of these like pillar characters
because it's ready,
because it has a good script, and this is the script that came out.
It wasn't.
It's like,
ready.
Hey man, maybe you should have looked at that again or at all, because it really feels like you didn't. It looks like to me it feels like someone said, we're gonna do that Tom King comic that people like, and he said sure. And that was the end of the conversation. Frankly, a lot of people like that comic, but a lot of people fucking hate Tom King on account of he used to work for the CIA, and may or may not have done some terrible things. So like already we're in a gray space of like, are we like of using that comic even though it is popular? So man, I don't fucking know. It's a mess, and I think this universe going forward is going to continue to be a fucking mess. I am terrified of how Lanterns is going to end, because I think the show will be good, but then it's going to have to tie in at the end in some way, and I think it's going to be a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
So I'm actively terrified of that.
The thing to worry about right now, which is sad to say, but like whenever Nathan Fillion, Guy Gardner shows up, you know what I mean? Because like I like Nathan Fillion, Guy Gardner in Superman quite a bit, but if we have this like, you know, darker, a little more grounded version of Lanterns, Hal Jordan, John Stewart doing stuff, and then a James Gunn character walks in,
yeah,
you're like, oh wait a minute, hang on, wait.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not looking. My interest level is falling quickly, and because I was already so confused by the choices, but we kept saying like, as long as the projects are good, and like this one's not.
Yeah, now we've reached the point where like, oh, that one wasn't.
So yeah. But hey guys, let us know what you think about Supergirl in the comments below. I'm assuming if you made it this far that you either don't care about it or already saw it. So let us know why you don't care about it or what you thought about it in the comments below on Spotify or YouTube.
Why you saw it.
Or yeah, well, I saw it, so I guess I can't judge you on that one. You can follow the show on Twitter at rsr_pod. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler8bit.
And until next time, everybody, wheels you around. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back in time where pixels and memories intertwine.